Buongiorno, I'm here in the beautiful San Benedetto del Tronto in the core of Italy, and a question that I get asked very often is, how old do I need to be if I want to become a concert pianist? Is it too late if I'm 15 years old? Is it too late when I'm 20 years old? Is it too late when I'm 25? Hello, my name is Aaron Pilsan. I'm an international concert pianist, and in this video I would like to cover the question once and forever, how old you have to be if you want to do a career as a concert pianist. So first of all, the earlier the better, right? If you start the piano with 3, 4, 5 years old, what you learn as a child is much deeper in your brain, in the core of your brain, than if you start something with 20 years old. You can see that with languages. For example, if you start talking in English, at a later age in school, it will still be fine, if you learn a language when you are an adult. That's much more difficult. If you learn something when you're 3 years old and you just imitate the people around you, that is very easy, right? And that is something you will never forget. So it is a big advantage to start very early. However, you don't have to be 5 years. You can also start with 7, 8. I have even met concert pianists who started at the age of 13. But that requires very special talent and dedication. I will do another video about what exactly is talent in my opinion, but let me just say this, you have to practice an average of 10,000 hours in total until you have complete mastery of the instrument. So of course if you start later, that will take much longer, and if you start earlier, then you have more time to fill up that space. But another fact that is very crucial is, it's not like you're a composer or you are doing literature. For playing an instrument on a really high level, you also need the technical skills, and that you can actually compare to a pro athlete. So you need to have the basic technique down and in your system until you're about 17 years, 18 max, right? So you have to have this skill set that you need to play the most difficult piano pieces. Let me get this right. This is just if you really want a professional, full-time concert career, traveling the world internationally in the biggest concert halls. Everything else, playing concerts publicly, doing piano competitions, learning difficult pieces at a later age, all these things separately you can do later. But if you want a full-time concert career in the big concert venues, playing internationally, traveling around the world, doing nothing else in your life, just this, earning money, that is the requirement. You need to have your technique until you're like 17 or 18. But please, don't feel discouraged if you don't have that. I have met the best amateur pianists who have much more enthusiasm than professional pianists, who play their music with so much love and dedication, and also play concerts, go to competitions. I have met so many great artists, and I've recently talked about that with some artist colleagues, that we have never met that level of purity and enthusiasm for classical music than with amateur musicians. That's a fact. And sometimes it's when you're a professional, you lose that kind of innocence. You lose that kind of spontaneity, because everything gets a routine, and that's also a pity. Of course it doesn't have to be that case, but it can be. So if you are a amateur pianist, don't let yourself be discouraged by that. Keep focusing that. You can start the piano with 40, you can start the piano with 50 or 60. You can get to a very, very high level playing Beethoven sonatas, Chopin, pieces, and etc., etc. But if you want to have a classical concert pianist career, you have to do that by the age of 17. So if I combine that with the thing that I have said in the first place, if you start with 13, you know, you have only 4 years for that 10,000 hours, and that is, you know, quite a lot of work, I would say. Let's see if I get that right. So we need 10,000 hours in 4 years. That's 2,500 hours a year. That divided through 12, 208 hours a month. That's 7 hours a day, basically, for these 4 years. That's fine. And that's a lot of work. That's really a lot of work. If you want to have that, you know, if you start by the age of 5, then you have 12 years for that. That's 833 hours a year, 60 hours, 70 hours a month. It's around 2.5 hours a day. That's what I did, right? I practiced around 2.5 hours a day, maybe 3 hours on average, since I was a small child. Consistently. Of course I had periods where I practiced 5 hours. I had periods where I practiced 7 hours. I had periods where I practiced 8 hours. But on average, you know, I just practiced my few hours, and that's fine. If you do it consistently. If you do it day by day, if you don't skip days. If you really keep practicing on your skills with a teacher who encourages you to actually make progress, you know, all these kind of things. Very important. So, let me sum up this very quickly, because I have to go to the airport in Rome now with a car and I don't want to be late. So you have to start as soon as possible. So what you can do also as a parent, if you want to encourage your kids to learn an instrument, go ahead and learn it. You know, you don't have to force them to become a professional musician. That is anyways a very, very hard business, no matter how talented you are. But to start early is always an advantage, because it's like a language. You will keep that in your mind. And if you want to be professional, you have to master your technique by the age of 17, 18. That means you need to put in around 10,000 hours in total, right, of practicing time. That needs a lot of dedication and talent to actually keep that motivation and to proceed. And after that, you know, you can relax a little bit. Of course, you need to still study, and then it's more about the depth of interpretation. So after the age of 17, you need, and 18, you need to work on your artistic understanding of the pieces, of deep understanding. Of course, you should do that also earlier, but you know, after you have the basic skill set, then that is when the fruit can ripen. Is first you put out the seeds, you know, throw the seeds, and then later on you can harvest. And honestly, that journey never ends, you know. Probably get more and more mature the older you are, because you have more experience in life, yet at the same time you lose your technical skills, so it's always kind of in balance, you know, what an artist of 30 years old can do and what an artist of 60 years old can do. But that's it about how old you have to be when you want to be a concert pianist. If you also want to learn the piano or improve your skills so you can master your pieces without pain and frustration, apply for a free piano lesson with me, a free strategy session on aaronpearson.com/academy. And if you want to learn how you can get concerts, also apply for that session. We will discuss different things there, of course, if you already have the skill set. But looking forward to talking to you. In any case, I'm going to the airport now, and I wish you a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and like everything. See you in the next video. Take care.